Hi everyone, I'm Diego from sunny Buenos Aires. I've always loved causing mischief and pranking people. Do you want to know what it led to? Well, then press like and get comfy. My parents often brought me to all sorts of social events. I was always bored to death. So, one day, I decided to cheer everyone up. My parents invited their friends to our place for yet another boring party. And I secretly poured a ton of gelatin and food coloring into the pool. Soon, it turned into a huge multicolored jelly. I was over the moon. But everyone else got mad at me, especially Uncle Martin, who had to eat the jelly to get out of the pool. Well, long story short, my parents went ballistic and sent me to Senorita Rojas' school. She was so tough and demanding that she could have easily won the title of the meanest principal in Argentina. The students were afraid to even breathe in her presence. As soon as she appeared, they tensed up. Wow. She's trained you well. Shh, Senorita Rojas will hear you. She's like 100 years old. I mean, she probably has hearing problems. My classmate looked behind me with terrified eyes, and I realized that our principal had heard everything and was now pissed off. 100 years old? I'm getting detention, right? You will be staying after class for a week. Long story short, life at my new school wasn't easy. The principal had a grudge against me, and she loved giving me detentions. You will be a changed man by the time I am done with you, Diego Spirito. Why was everyone trying to fix me so hard? I wasn't defective in the first place. My classmates didn't talk to me because they were afraid that my bad luck was contagious. I tried to rebel for a while, but I got tired of it and soon tried to fit in. I thought I was gonna lose it, but then I met Sabrina. The history lesson began. Our teacher said that a new girl had been transferred to our school, and then she said irritably that the new girl was very late. At that moment, the doors swung open and Sabrina rode into the classroom on roller skates. Hey, watch out! She didn't even have time to slow down and crash landed on the teacher. Oops. Everyone in class froze in fear, but I laughed so hard I fell off my chair. Oh, I would pay to see that again. I shouldn't have said that because Sabrina and I were sent to the principal's office. Senorita Rojas was fuming. She shouted at us so loudly that the walls shook. However, we could barely hold back laughter. As a punishment, we had to scrape gum off the desks. It was the first time I was glad to stay after classes. It was a great opportunity to get to know the new girl better. Sabrina said that her parents were divorced and she took turns living with her mom and dad. I'm gonna be staying with my dad for a while. He's a producer. Wow. Sabrina was beautiful and funny. But the most important thing was that we were similar in many ways. This is a prison, not a school. Senorita Rojas could win the title of the meanest principal in Argentina if such a competition existed. I said the same thing. She was my soulmate. We were both rebels looking for adventures. We hit it off and even decided to prank our principal together. We ordered a chocolate figure with the inscription "For the meanest mummy" and called the principal pretending to be journalists. We said that we wanted to give her an award for pedagogical excellence. Oh, it is such an honor. She was so proud of herself that she asked to be awarded in front of the whole school. That was perfect. It's a shame no adult would agree to play the role of a journalist. Play a role, huh? Sabrina smiled slyly and told me about a struggling actor called Alf. He was only ever hired as an extra but dreamed of being a big star. So he kept trying to meet Sabrina's father. She called him, and he agreed to help us for a small fee. He came to our school and handed the principal the figure in front of the whole school. She even teared up. But then she saw the inscription and turned red with anger. Alf immediately left. Whose idea of a joke is this? Sabrina and I were the only ones dying laughing. I mean, you didn't need to be a detective to figure out who was behind it all. It's you two again? I've had it with you. She made us learn a boring biography of some historical figure by heart. We had to sit in her office so that she could keep an eye on us. To be honest, it was hard to focus because Sabrina kept looking at me playfully over the top of her textbook. Oh, was she flirting with me? Wow. When Senorita Rojas left the office for a few minutes, Sabrina suddenly moved closer to me. You're cool, Diego. I've never felt such a connection with anyone before. Before I could say anything, she kissed me. I almost fainted from joy, but then the principal came back. She saw us and was left speechless with indignation. Oops. Get out of here! Sabrina and I had become an item. I felt like the happiest guy in the world. However, Senorita Rojas kept ruining everything. She truly couldn't stand us. She gave us extra tasks and came up with terrible detentions. One day we were told to sort through the dusty books in the library. Damn it, we've never been on a normal date. It's all because our principal is as prickly as a cactus. Yeah, she's probably just jealous because no one likes mummies like her. Now that was an idea. What Rojas needed was a secret admirer. But what kind of psycho would want to date her? Sabrina and I exchanged a sly glance as we thought about the same person. We need Alf! Sabrina called him again and said that if he helped us, she would get him a meeting with her father. I mean, it was a great opportunity for him, so he agreed. He even shaved off his mustache and beard so that Rojas wouldn't recognize him. We told Alf what to do, and soon enough, he bumped into our principal on the street and spilled juice all over her. Oh, I'm such a klutz. Let me buy you a coffee as an apology. I had my doubts, but it worked. Alf acted like he'd fallen head over heels for Rojas. He sent her flowers that we paid for, and he took her on dates. Soon, we barely recognized our principal. She was glowing. See that gorgeous woman? That's Rojas! Can you imagine? It turned out that she was quite young. She just looked older because she didn't bother with her looks. Life at school was good. Our principal finally canceled our extra classes and detention. Sabrina, Diego, the classes are long over. Why are you still at school? The weather's so wonderful today. We finally had free time, so we could have fun and go on dates. Once the atmosphere at the school had become more relaxed, the students started doing better. Our principal was always in a good mood thanks to her boyfriend. So she told our teachers to go easy on us. If any of us failed a test, we could now come to the principal's office, look pitiful and complain. They gave us so much homework that I didn't have enough time to prepare for the math test. Oh, you poor thing. You're right. I'll talk to your teachers about this. Life was going great. But soon, I noticed that Sabrina was taking advantage of Senorita Rojas's newfound kindness a bit too often. For example, an important final test was coming up. Of course, none of the lazy students prepared for it. Sabrina asked Alf to distract the principal and easily stole the answers. Don't you think this is going too far? Sabrina sighed and admitted that she liked living with her generous and kind dad more than with her strict and old-fashioned mom. If I have a perfect academic record at this school, I'll be able to stay with my father for good. I didn't want to part with my girlfriend, so I would benefit from it too. So I just kept enjoying life without a worry in the world. My parents were finally proud of me and my grades. They even promised to buy me a car if I can get into a good college. Hell yeah! But soon my dreams of a bright future were crushed. I opened the website of the college I was planning to apply to and decided to take a mock test. The results were shocking. I didn't even get the minimum score. That's when I started freaking out. The good grades meant nothing if I didn't have any real knowledge. I didn't want to stay dumb and live in a cardboard box, so I came up to Senorita Rojas and asked her to organize remedial classes. I'd also like to join a science club. Getting good grades is awesome, but I want to earn them. You surprised me, Diego. Of course, I'll take care of everything. And she kept her word. To my surprise, all my classmates came to the remedial classes too. Well, almost all of them. Sabrina got mad at me. Are you nuts? We worked so hard to finally have free time. Hey, let's skip classes, catch frogs, and put them in the principal's car. I love having fun and pranking people, but we crossed the line. I also told her she could try to get good marks without cheating if she wanted to stay with her dad. That made her really mad. Ugh! You're just as boring as everyone else. Realizing it was sad, but Sabrina turned out to be lazy, spoiled, and cruel. She disappointed me, and I realized that we had to break up. I immediately told her we were done. Of course, she lost her temper. Oh, you're going to regret this. To be honest, she was a bit scary. I knew she would do anything to get what she wanted. I was on edge for the next couple of days because I expected Sabrina to do something nasty. But things were suspiciously calm. I kept studying and soon passed that mock test. Yeah! I was really freaking proud of myself. One evening, I ran into Alf at a store. I'd been feeling guilty for a long time. The way we deceived Señorita Rojas was cruel. I asked him to stop playing before things went too far.
I can't break up with Agatha. I fell in love with her for real. I haven't been pretending for a long time. She's actually very caring and sweet. It's just no one understood her.
Wow, I'm happy for you then. Then he said that Sabrina wanted him to spend more time with our principal so that she would forget about her duties and cancel the remedial classes.
I don't want to listen to Sabrina anymore. Besides, she still hasn't introduced me to her father. I just want to date Agatha, but I'm afraid she'll find out the truth and dump me.
What? How could Sabrina be so selfish? My classmates and I like earning our marks. Our principal could also get in trouble if she kept going easy on us. I'll figure out how to fix it. I decided to have a serious talk with Sabrina the very next day. Quit acting like a villain. It's not funny anymore. And if I don't, I'll find a way to put you in your place. Don't mess with me, Diego Spirito. You'll regret it. The bell rang and I didn't listen to Sabrina's threats and went into the classroom. To my surprise, she didn't follow me. Soon the principal called me to her office. Judging by her voice, she was furious. When I walked in, I saw a crying Sabrina and a gloomy Señorita Rojas. Sabrina gave me a nasty smile when the principal wasn't looking. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't like it. The principal hit the table with her fist and shouted that Sabrina had told her the truth. Oh crap. You convinced that scoundrel Alf to pretend to like me so that you could get good marks? That is despicable, Diego. Didn't Sabrina tell you who came up with that plan? Sabrina immediately started crying. He put me up to it. I'm so naive and dumb. I didn't think it was possible for her to disappoint me even more. The principal felt sorry for Sabrina and said that since I had cheated, my marks would be annulled. I didn't cheat. I studied like everyone else. She didn't listen to my excuses and told me to get out of her office. The same day, my parents also found out about everything. They looked at me like I was nothing and didn't even say anything. I'd rather they shouted and grounded me. Life at school turned into hell as well. Señorita Rojas became angrier than a guard dog and took her anger out on me and my classmates. The worst thing was that Sabrina got away with everything. One day, I saw Alf in the park on my way home. He looked terrible. It was no wonder. When Rojas found out that their relationship had begun with a lie, she'd immediately dumped him. Sabrina also used her father's account to leave a review about Alf in which she called him the worst actor of the century. He couldn't even work as an extra anymore. That was it. I'd had enough of that psycho ruining everyone's lives. She didn't want to go back to her strict mom, right? I came up with a plan and told Alf about it.
You're either a psycho or a genius. I like it.
I'm just a noble dreamer. The next evening, I went to Sabrina's house. Her father, Señor Grande, opened the door. I told him I wanted to talk to him about his daughter's antics at school, so he invited me into his study. Sabrina tensed up and followed us. What the hell are you up to, you pathetic worm? I'm going to tell your father the truth. I told Señor Grande about the way Sabrina manipulated people to get good grades. She ruined my reputation and Alf's career, and took advantage of our principal's trust. I was sure Sabrina was going to get in trouble. But To my surprise, her father didn't believe me.
How dare you slander my daughter? Her academic performance is excellent, and there have been no complaints about her from the school for a long time.
Sabrina looked down shyly, but when her father turned away, she stuck out her tongue at me. God! She was a wolf in sheep's clothing. But then, someone else walked into the house. It was Señorita Rojas. Sabrina's cheeky smile disappeared. At first, I believed your daughter's fake tears, but now, I finally know the truth.
What? Sabrina, what is the meaning of this?
Her eyes bulged out and she started to snap at us, but eventually admitted that she had been up to no good.
I'm taking away your pocket money. Your mother will hear about this.
Sabrina shouted that it was all my fault and that she hated me, and then ran out of the study. Her dad thanked Señorita Rojas and apologized for his daughter's behavior. However, Señor Grande was in for a surprise. My principal washed off her makeup and voila, we realized it was actually Alf. Yeah, that was our plan. Cool, right?
That was quite a performance. I believed every second of it.
He was so impressed with Alf's acting skills that he invited him to a movie casting. And Alf nailed it. After that, he confessed his love to Señorita Rojas during one of his interviews, and her icy heart melted. They're an item now. Sabrina keeps going to our school, but now her dad keeps a close eye on her academic performance. She does not have any time for dirty tricks now. As for me, I realized that I liked my academic victories, however modest. I'm still a dreamer, but I also have big plans for the future. That's why I'm going to college soon. Do you think I'll meet the girl of my dreams there? Tell me in the comments below.